Hi and welcome to the channel. I recently read The Art of Happiness by His Holiness the Dalai Lama in a book co-authored by Dr. Howard Cutler. The book reveals ideologies and practices on how to lead a happy life. The principles are applicable to anyone irrespective of religious faith. The topics covered include inner peace, human interaction, managing obstacles, self-improvement, and finally, overall spirituality. So let's dive straight in. The Dalai Lama advocates that the first principle of happiness is to practice inner discipline to bring calmness of the mind. Inner contentment is the most critical aspect of enjoying life because it stops us from comparing ourselves to others, and it also allows us to truly appreciate what we already have. On the other hand, one who is not content will continue to search for materialistic pleasures or external validation, and this continued search will never fill the void within. The path to inner contentment is not straightforward, and the Dalai Lama equates this to training for a particular sport. You must take little steps and great discipline to reflect on day-to-day events and slowly but surely mold your words, habits and thoughts to align with seeking inner peace and practicing gratitude. The second element of happiness revolves around our interaction with fellow human beings. The first tenet to remember is to approach every interaction with compassion and openness. This way you will be more receptive to the views of others, and even in antagonistic situations, you will be more open to finding amicable solutions. Interestingly, the Dalai Lama does remind that this form of openness also allows for a change of tact, especially when dealing with those who are perhaps manipulative or deceitful. In such interactions, just remain honest, but tactfully and politely disengage from further interaction. And in doing so, you know that you have tried your best and some things are just not meant to be. Next is the teaching that life brings about many forms of suffering, may it be physical or mental, and we just need to accept that this is part and parcel of life. As an antidote, age-old Buddhist teachings remind us that it is best to directly confront any form of suffering, for it will allow a person to be in a better position to appreciate the depth and nature of a problem. The Dalai Lama interestingly uses the example of a battle, whereby as long as one remains ignorant of the status and combat capabilities of one's enemy, you will remain unprepared and paralyzed by fear when it is time to face the music. However, if you know the abilities of your opponent, then you will be better positioned during engagement. Simply running away from problems or putting up with undesirable people are just temporary band-aids which bring about unavoidable angst and pain on the long term. So, as put so profoundly, mentally prepare yourself, then take the steps to face and solve problems. Don't view suffering as a negative, and it should not be avoided or seen as a sign of failure. Rather, just appreciate that suffering is a natural part of one's existence, and it will make you more tolerant towards adversities in the future, provided you have the courage to face and deal with them. Growth is another aspect in our quest of happiness. Staying stagnant is stifling, and it is common to strive for a better life. However, we are reminded that change and improvement is not attributed to mystical spiritual practices. Rather, the Dalai Lama identified learning and education as the first step to bring about change. Then, one must have the conviction that the knowledge gained will empower their life. Following this, have sustained determination to action accordingly, followed by continued effort to achieve the goal. This is an extremely powerful message that can be applied to any facet of life, whether it be behavioral change, habit breaking, or job satisfaction. In our quest for improvement, we are reminded of the importance of realistic expectations. Remember that Rome was not built in one day, and it is the accumulation of little steps that propel us to greater heights. Lastly, basic spiritual values are discussed. These values are best highlighted by the actions of the Dalai Lama himself. Despite being regarded as a preeminent Buddhist scholar, I personally was struck by how humble the Dalai Lama came across over his course of interview with Dr. Cutler. In fact, there were certain portions of the book where His Holiness would pause and consider his beliefs, and even sometimes honestly admit that he did not have the answers to certain predicaments. In addition, Dr. Cutler highlighted how the Dalai Lama's appeal to those around him is due to his personal warmth, humor, and a down-to-earth approach. This is further reinforced when the Dalai Lama remarked that he interacts with everyone as if they are truly equal, no more and no less than he is. So I believe that the essence of happiness is by being humble, grateful, and honest in life. This then allows us to face our own inner demons and any external challenges too. It is through these universal truths that one will find true happiness in life. With that, I thank you for watching today's video, and I've left a link for other videos with similar themes. I look forward to seeing you next week. Go forth and lead an empowered life.